Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about iconic landmarks, most people think of world-famous symbols like the Statue of Liberty here in the United States or Christ the Redeemer in Brazil. But few realize that in China, a massive cultural and tourism project has been taking shape. One designed not only as a religious destination, but as a world-class spiritual tourism center. It's called the Tashita Heaven Palace, built around an enormous statue of the Maitreya Buddha. The project is being promoted as a symbol of faith, a testament to the endurance of Buddhist culture, and a major boost for regional tourism. Covering an area that stretches across dozens of square miles, the site isn't just a single monument. It includes temples, meditation complexes, research centers, cultural museums, and full-scale resorts. The entire area is planned like a self-contained spiritual and cultural city, where visitors can make a pilgrimage, learn, relax, and explore all in one place. Because of that, the project is quickly being called China's new holy destination, bringing together faith, art, and enormous economic potential. At the heart of this project stands a 108-foot statue of the Maitreya Buddha. In East Asian tradition, Maitreya is the Buddha of the future, a symbol of happiness, compassion, and prosperity. With his gentle smile and round belly representing generosity, he brings peace and harmony. Building such a massive statue isn't just about architecture or art. It carries deep spiritual meaning, like a prayer for peace and abundance. The statue won't stand alone. It will be part of a vast Buddhist complex featuring multi-story temples, large plazas, and ceremonial spaces capable of hosting hundreds of thousands of visitors. This makes it a destination not only for devoted Buddhists, but also for international travelers eager to witness its scale and significance. China's choice of Maitreya ties to the Buddhist legend of Tashita, or the Heaven of Contentment, where bodhisattvas reside before descending to earth to become Buddhas. Maitreya is believed to be waiting there, ready to come in the future, achieve enlightenment, and guide humanity. For many, belief in the future Buddha is a beacon of hope for a world filled with compassion, fairness, and lasting joy. They didn't stop at the giant Maitreya statue. The entire project includes a series of world-class, record-breaking structures. Record number 1, it features the world's first invisible Buddha, rising so high it appears to vanish into the sky. Ordinary visitors only see the massive golden lotus beneath it, measuring about 186 feet across. The idea is that the Buddha is as large as the believer's heart, echoing a line from the Diamond Sutra that the true Buddha cannot be seen with the eyes. Record number 2. It's the first time the entire Maitreya realm has been built collaboratively by 4 different groups of disciples. Record number 3. It marks the first large-scale interpretation of the dragon flower tree, a symbolic Buddhist tree rarely recreated in Han regions. Record number 4. The site includes the world's first enclosed indoor statue of Maitreya, wearing a celestial crown, seated and giving a sermon. Record number 5. It's also home to the first Maitreya statue modeled after the historical Buddha, Shakyamuni. Record number 6. The project aims to build the tallest seated stone statue of the northern god of wealth. Record number 7. This is the largest Buddhist complex in China, built along a 1.5-mile central axis covering about 1,600 acres with more than 1 million square feet of constructed space. Record number 8. Longhua Temple alone covers over 430,000 square feet, making it the largest standalone imperial-style Buddhist temple in China. It even pioneers a no-wall design meant to symbolize openness and inclusiveness in modern Buddhism. These records aren't just flashy headlines. The goal is to create a cultural and spiritual center that can compete on the world stage. Experts say the project could significantly boost international tourism, turning a once quiet region into a destination for millions each year. That means major economic growth, from hotels and restaurants to pilgrimage services and local businesses. Looking back, the creation of this massive Methreya complex isn't just another construction project. It blends faith, culture, tourism, and national ambition into one vision. With record-breaking size, deep spiritual symbolism, and a long-term tourism strategy, it's set to become one of the most prominent cultural landmarks of the 21st century. Ladies and gentlemen, if the Tashita Palace in Shaoxing overwhelms us with its scale and ambition, then our journey through Chinese Buddhist heritage becomes even more remarkable when we arrive at one stunning landmark, the Hanging Monastery, also known as Xiankong Temple, built in 491 AD. This monastery sits on a cliff nearly 250 feet above the ground, creating the jaw-dropping illusion that the entire complex is suspended in the air. What amazes visitors isn't only the height, but the engineering behind it. The shrine's wooden halls and curved rooftops rest directly against a vertical rock face, supported by long timber beams driven deep into the mountain. Walking along the narrow wooden corridors or the slim bridges connecting each section, you instantly understand why people describe it as walking in the clouds. Every step carries a mix of fear, awe, and excitement that makes the experience unforgettable. The Hanging Monastery is also a rare cultural treasure where Buddhism, Confucianism, and Taoism coexist under one roof, reflecting the tolerance and diversity of ancient Chinese thought. But its popularity has taken a toll. Years of heavy tourism have put pressure on the structure, and officials worry about long-term safety. In the near future, the site may have to close temporarily for preservation, knowing that only makes this cliffside wonder feel even more valuable, a once-in-a-lifetime sight, suspended between sky and stone. Leaving the Hanging Monastery behind, our journey now brings us to Lingyin Temple, an ancient sanctuary hidden deep in the mountains of Hangzhou. Considered one of the most sacred and impressive Buddhist sites in all of China, Lingyin sits high on a beautiful forested peak, surrounded by green valleys and clear streams, creating a feeling as if you've stepped into another world where nature and spirituality blend into one. As visitors enter the Lingyin Feilai Peak scenic area, they aren't just walking into a temple, but into an entire landscape of architecture, art, and natural beauty. Arched bridges stretch over quiet creeks, centuries-old stone carvings line the pathways, and mysterious caves open into the mountainside. Every turn reveals a new scene, peaceful, majestic, and full of character, turning the visit into a meaningful spiritual adventure. Beyond its scenery, Lingyin is also one of the largest and wealthiest temples in China. Across its vast grounds stand a series of grand structures, from the Hall of the Great Hero, home to an enormous statue of Shakyamuni Buddha, to the Medicine Buddha Hall, where visitors pray for health and protection. The temple's library holds thousands of valuable Buddhist scriptures, making it a true center of religious knowledge. The Huayan Hall features elegant architecture, while the Hall of the 500 Arhats showcases hundreds of unique statues, each one sculpted with its own expression and personality, reflecting the craftsmanship of ancient artisans. What makes Lingyin even more extraordinary is its system of grottos and stone carvings. Feilai Peak, the mountain facing the temple, holds hundreds of Buddha statues carved directly into the cliffs. Many have survived for more than 1,000 years, their details still visible despite centuries of wind and rain. This has turned Feilai Peak into an invaluable open-air museum where history, art, and nature merge naturally within a mountain landscape. And as you move deeper into the temple, you can feel the solemn, peaceful atmosphere settle around you. The bell echoes across the valley, blending with the sound of running water and the wind moving through the trees, creating a rare symphony of nature. For many visitors, this isn't just a place of worship, it's a refuge, a place to find inner calm and step away from the worries of everyday life, even if just for a moment. After our stop in Hangzhou at Lingyin Temple, we travel back in time to the ancient city of Xi'an, the magnificent capital of the Tang Dynasty. And right in the heart of this historic center rises one of the most iconic symbols of Buddhism, the Great Wild Goose Pagoda. Built in the year 652 during the reign of Emperor Gaozong, the pagoda was created to honor the achievements and spiritual journey of the monk Xuanzang. Originally standing at 5 stories, it grew through centuries of restoration, and today reaches 7 stories high, towering proudly above the Xi'an skyline. Inside, a winding staircase leads visitors from one level to the next, and from the top floor, the entire city opens up in a breathtaking view where ancient history and modern life stand side by side. Yet, the real significance of the pagoda lies in its spiritual purpose. It was originally built to store the Buddhist scriptures, sacred relics, and statues that Xuanzang carried back from India after decades spent traveling and studying. From this very place, those texts were translated into Chinese, spreading across the country, and eventually shaping Buddhist culture throughout East Asia for more than 1,000 years. In other words, the Great Wild Goose Pagoda isn't just architecture. It's a landmark of cultural exchange and religious history across the East. Every brick, every level of the pagoda carries the marks of time, yet its dignity remains untouched. To the people of Xi'an, it is the spiritual heart of the city. During major festivals, the pagoda glows brilliantly under the lights, standing as a reminder of the Tang Dynasty's golden age and as a symbol of enduring faith for the people today. Visiting the Great Wild Goose Pagoda offers more than a view of a historic monument. It's a chance to touch the living flow of Buddhist history stretching back thousands of years. If the Great Wild Goose Pagoda represents wisdom and the spread of sacred teachings, then another corner of central China holds a marvel on a completely different scale, the Longmen Grottos. When visitors arrive in Henan province, they're met with a massive limestone cliff stretching for miles. It's surface carved with more than 2,300 man-made caves shaped with remarkable precision. Construction began during the Northern Wei dynasty and reached its artistic height in the Tang era, taking centuries to complete. What makes Longmen extraordinary isn't just its size, it's the craftsmanship. Inside those 2,300 caves are over 110,000 Buddhist statues, 60 stone pagodas, and more than 2,800 inscriptions carved straight into the rock. Some figures are no larger than a hand, while others tower more than 55 feet high, their calm expressions watching over the crowds below. Standing here feels like stepping into a vast stone cathedral, where every carved detail reflects faith, creativity, and generations of master artisans. Walking along the stone and metal stairways built into the cliff, visitors can move close enough to see each carved line in the limestone. Every cave feels like a giant relief sculpture, remarkably well preserved despite surviving over 1,000 years. Sunlight glints across the surfaces, making many statues look almost newly sculpted. And beyond the cliff, the entire Longmen complex stretches along the Yi River, its quiet blue water curving beneath the rocks in a landscape that is both peaceful and awe-inspiring. Longmen is more than a collection of ancient carvings. It's a living record of religion, politics, and culture across Chinese history. Dynasty after dynasty expanded the site, leaving behind one of the world's most impressive cultural legacies. Today, the Longmen Grottos are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, attracting millions of visitors, historians, and scholars each year who come to witness this breathtaking masterpiece carved into stone. Leaving Shaanxi with the towering Great Wild Goose Pagoda and the deeply carved Longmen Grottos behind, our journey through Chinese Buddhism brings us to the capital, Beijing, home to a dazzling temple considered the heart of Tibetan Buddhism outside Tibet. This is the Yonghe Temple, also known as the Lama Temple. Few realize that this magnificent complex was once the palace of Emperor Yongzheng. After his death, it was converted into a temple in 1744, marking a historic transformation into the most important center for Tibetan Buddhist practice and study in northern China. Upon entering, visitors feel as if they've stepped into a living museum. Golden roof tiles shimmer in the sunlight, ornate archways display intricate carvings, and long corridors connect vibrant murals. Each step leads through lavish halls, home to a 60-foot-tall Maitreya Buddha carved from fragrant sandalwood, a rare and monumental work of art. Intricate murals depicting Tibetan Vajrayana traditions, finely crafted statues, and antique wooden artifacts make the temple a masterpiece that blends spiritual significance with artistic brilliance. Many scholars and travelers agree. If there's only one temple to visit in China, Yonghe Temple is the place not to miss, combining imperial grandeur with the mystical aura of Tibetan Buddhism. From Beijing, the journey takes us back to Hunan Province, home to a temple inseparably linked with martial arts and legends that have become iconic in Eastern culture, the Shaolin Temple. Known to anyone interested in film, martial arts, or history, Shaolin Temple was founded more than 1,500 years ago. It is not only a religious center, but also the birthplace of the world-famous Shaolin Kung Fu system. Throughout its long history, the temple has endured countless trials. Most notably, a massive fire in 1928 destroyed many ancient buildings, leaving a significant loss. Yet Shaolin Temple endured, rebuilt over generations, and today stands as a unique tourist destination, preserving its ancient heritage while offering visitors the chance to experience the temple's distinctive martial arts culture. Walking through the temple's halls, one can still feel the breath of history mingling with the bustle of modern life. Stone stairways lead into the main halls, brick walls bear the marks of time, and the forest of ancient pagodas, where revered monks are buried, forms a solemn and sacred tableau. Although today's crowds sometimes diminish the quietude of the past, they also help spread Shaolin's spirit worldwide. Martial arts demonstrations and kung fu classes attract thousands of international students, making the temple a living symbol of Chinese culture and tradition. Returning to Beijing, the capital filled with imperial-scale monuments, one structure stands out, instantly recognizable: the Temple of Heaven. Despite its name, this isn't a Buddhist temple. It's a massive altar where Ming and Qing emperors prayed for bountiful harvests and the well-being of the nation. A bridge between the Son of Heaven and the heavens above, where the emperor represented the entire country in seeking divine favor. Stepping into the Temple of Heaven, visitors encounter a meticulously planned layout, enclosed by walls with 4 gates facing each direction. At the center stands the Hall of Prayer for Good Harvests, a circular structure rising on a white marble base. Its 3-tiered blue roof represents the sky, and every carved detail is intricate, standing beneath it. One can feel the universe's vastness alongside the aspirations for prosperity held by a civilization that laid the foundation for China's brilliance. The design follows principles of yin and yang and the 5 elements seen in the steps and the circular and square shapes of bases and roofs. It's more than architecture. It's a symbol of Eastern philosophy, reflecting humanity's attempt to harmonize with nature. Today, the Temple of Heaven no longer hosts imperial ceremonies, but remains a cultural icon of Beijing, drawing millions annually. People come not only to admire its beauty, but also to sense the faith and aspirations once entrusted here. Amid modern life, standing in the tranquil space, listening to the wind brushing across the blue tiles, one can feel transported back to a distant past, when the connection between heaven and humanity was revered with profound devotion. In the end, each of these monuments is more than an architectural masterpiece. They reflect the faith, ambition, and boundless creativity of the Chinese people across centuries. This journey through Buddhism and culture shows us that the story is far from over. It continues to unfold with new projects that aim for global significance. If you've enjoyed today's exploration, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting the notification bell. Every day, we bring you new journeys where past, present, and future meet, revealing stories that help us better understand and appreciate the world around us. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.